So we'll be looking at the consumer decision-making process. Why we're here to develop your knowledge of the consumer decision-making process in order to have a more beneficial and effective marketing strategy with the iPhone 7 product.
So these are the contents of our presentation of this video. First, we are having the product introduction and the 5 steps of consumer decision-making process. So Connors are doing the need for recognition, which is the step 1, and I'm doing the second step, information search. And Josh is doing evaluation of alternative, and step 4 and 5 is will be done by Yolen, and the summary will be done by Connor. And it is your
Yeah.
And this is our product chosen, which is the Apple iPhone 7.
I'll run the first step, need for recognition. There are many reasons that lead to a new phone purchase, including some influences that trigger the decision internally. Design of the latest iPhone, the sleek design, and new colours will always influence the new phone decision. Improved camera quality may be suitable to certain individuals. The camera is one of the most used features of the iPhone, and with improved camera quality will influence and possibly instigate a new iPhone purchase. Updates on the new iPhone causes and affects the current iPhone you have, and can always lead to a new phone purchase as well, or just an Apple lover. This is the case certainly for Apple, with consumers placing a lot of trust in their products, buying all products of Apple. Externally, here Apple have created an external influence advertising the quality of the iPhone 6 camera to spark a customer decision. This is important and effective way of sending a message to displaying capabilities of the product. I've used the iPhone 6 here to highlight the good decision made by the marketing team in being effective and communicative. Other external factors include media responses on the product. Whether we like it or not, we are constantly surrounded by the discussion of new products and what to buy, influencing our purchase. Reviews with influence the decision. This is one of the most crucial influences in the decision making of a new purchase, especially for higher risk products, including the iPhone. New trends and products in fashion with what mates have and what's up to date is extremely effective. And of course, deals with providers such as Telstra allows for financing, making it more realistic and easy to pay for phones. Recommendations. Whilst Apple is a business that does their own thing and does not compare their products to other companies such as Samsung, I believe it is important to fully understand what the market wants and have more research into meeting the customer expectations and feedback information. Here, customer feedback has become one of the most prevalent that many customers expect it as a standard element on the purchase process. Specifically, starting a survey with an open-minded positive solicitation resulted in 32.88% increasing customer spending relative to a survey with no open-ended positive solicitation.
So I'll be doing the second step of the consumer decision-making process, which is information search. Consumer will go through both internal and external information search before buying some high-involving product. So for the internal search, they are normally recalling the information from their long-term memories, which exists. And also, one of the internal search is also consumers' past experience of using the smartphone. For example, maybe me myself, I using iPhone before, so I'll first consider iPhone from my memory of using it. And for the external search, there are marketing control and non-marketing control. For the marketing control information search, consumers have to go through marketers to get more information about the products. And there are some places to get more info, such as the official website of the smartphones, which is Apple, Samsung, Huawei, and etc. And through social media or the advertisement by the company. For the non-marketing controlled information search, consumers are not referring to the marketers, and they are referring to their friends, colleagues, or maybe family members who are using different brand of smartphone to get more information about that. So there are some risks purchasing the high involvement product, and consumers have to take note of that before they going to purchase any product. And for this, for our product, consumers have to make sure that they are able to take this risk, which is the functional risk. Functional risk is a risk where consumers have to take whether the product can function as consumer expected or not. And the next is the social risk, where this product could really make the status of the consumer same as their friend or not. And the next risk is financial risk, where financial risk is the ability of consumer to pay back the debt after purchasing the phone or the product. For the time risk consumer have to take is where when they purchase the product, for example Apple iPhone 7, is it still up to date, where the iPhone 7 is the latest product or not, or Apple company is going to come out with any new product. And for the physical risk, consumer have to take this risk whether this product is going to bring any physical hurt to the consumer or not. And lastly is the psychological risk, where consumer have to face the question whether this purchase is morally correct. And there are some recommendation steps over here. And Apple company can further advertise their products, such as the release of iPhone 7, by sending mails to the customers, and this is the most direct way. And next is Apple company can set up a live chat session, which is 24 hours, to provide information about all products, which is Apple company currently don't have it, and they only have the live chat session to support some of the product. And they should pay more attention to the customer feedback, as the word of mouth is the most trusted and influential form of advertisement.
After the consumer has performed the second act of researching and seeking information about the iPhone 7, the consumer is likely to evaluate the different alternatives available to them. In doing so, the consumer is aiming to achieve the goal of reducing uncertainty, whilst also hoping to minimise the risks involved in purchasing something significant. Ultimately, the consumer is seeking to find the best possible product in terms of quality and value that satisfies their needs and wants. Whilst the consumer won't evaluate all the alternatives on the market, they will likely consider a few distinct products. Popular products such as the iPhone 6s, Google Pixel, Samsung Galaxy S7, and the HTC 10 will all likely be possibly considered. Consumers will research and compare the attributes and specifications of each product in order to compare them against one another. This information will likely be gathered through different websites or by visiting phone shops. Consumers will then narrow down their choices through use of cutoffs, which are minimum and maximum specifications that are important to them. For example, a consumer might choose to discard all options that are priced above $1,000, or no longer consider smartphones that have a screen size of less than 5 inches. According to Kim Commando from USA Today, the most important features a consumer looks for in a smartphone is a large battery life and a quality camera. Other attributes commonly desired are a cheap price and a nice screen size. In terms of price, the iPhone is quite expensive relative to its alternatives, which can be seen through this table comparing different alternatives. Although the iPhone 7 is cleverly marketed as the flagship model in the smartphone range, and those that want premium features are likely to purchase the product regardless. Other features that will stand out in the evaluation of the alternative stage is its sleek and lightweight design, along with its strong camera. Although a feature that will make the iPhone 7 stand out among the rest is its new waterproof and dustproof design. Some recommendations I believe Apple would benefit from, and is to improve its marketing to highlight its strong attributes. The iPhone 7 has an extraordinarily sleek and lightweight design, with a new feature of being both dust and water resistant. The previous iPhones did not receive this feature, which also isn't common among other smartphones. I believe Apple should develop a greater emphasis on this feature, perhaps through a demonstration video, so that the product can be seen as superior among its alternatives. This would likely result in more consumers purchasing the iPhone 7 when they are evaluating this in the evaluation of all alternatives stage.
Hi, I'm Ilan. I'm here to talk to you about purchase decision. So how did the consumer come to this purchase decision? Usually the purchase decision will involve buying a preferred brand. So what kind of individuals will buy an iPhone 7? So you've got your trial purchases. They're people who've never had smartphones before or weren't happy with the last brand of phone and open to trying something new. You've got repeat purchases. So these individuals who've used Apple before or potentially previous Apple products and want to enjoy the features of the new iPhone. Or you've got your long-term commitment purchases. So Apple have a lot of these. They're individuals who've used the product or potentially other Apple products repeatedly and are very comfortable with them. They are loyal to the brand. So another factor could be smartphone platform loyalty. A high percentage of Apple iOS users are unlikely to change operating systems. So we've got a quote here. Mintel's 2015 Auto Digital Trends Report samples 1,528 internet users that own a smartphone, shows that 53% of respondents are unlikely to change operating system. So by platform, the figures are 65% of iOS users and 50% of Android users. So basically what this is showing us is that Apple users are more likely to stay with their same platform. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, so why do people buy Apple? What do Apple users want? Okay, so ease of use. Basically, Apple products can be used from anyone from like a child to the elderly. So anyone can learn to use them even if they've never used one before. Apple products are very interconnected with other Apple devices. So people in a group, for example, like a family or a business, can use them to connect and collaborate together. For example, there's an app called FaceTime, which people often use as like an Apple-only app, which is used for like Skype, or sort of almost like Skype, but it's like a video thing which makes their life easier. That's just one example. Like there are thousands of apps in the App Store. So individuality. So passionate consumers want their brands to become a form of self-expression. So basically, what that means, like what this article was saying, was that consumers have become like more complex. Like it's not so much about like holding a brand at reach anymore. It's more about they want more. They want to feel connected, and they also want to feel that they can just completely customize whatever they want to suit their needs. So because Apple products are highly customizable, they do suit an individual's needs. So safety and familiarity. So as mentioned earlier, many Apple users are more comfortable sticking with the Apple OS than they are trying something new. And they already know Apple's an iPhone, so well, they need to learn something different. And positive or negative past experiences. So say that they could have a positive experience with Apple before, or a really negative one with another brand, like Motorola or Samsung. That could definitely sway them into like making a purchase. So I just want to talk to you about cult brands. Apple is a cult brand. They have a very loyal customer base. Lots of people use their products, and that makes other people want them more. So basically the benefits of using a cult brand that's as large as Apple are a sense of belonging. So with cult brands, consumers are beginning to act or feel like members of the community. That was from a really interesting article. What it was basically saying was that consumers aren't sort of holding products at arm's reach so much anymore. Like they want more. Like consuming is becoming more complex. Like basically, people don't people want to feel like they belong to something. They also want something that they can express themselves through. So, another quote from the same article is, the product is the experience. So to create stronger applies to consumers. Marketers must foster a sense of shared experience and belonging. So a sense of belonging is fostered if people use the same smartphone as everyone else. That's pretty self-explanatory, I think. The iPhone 7 allows consumers to connect with other consumers on social media and create contact with other people easily. So that's pretty interesting because like these days, that's how products are. Like it's not so much a word of mouth thing anymore. Like it's not just like reading an article. It's people actually engaging with other users of the same products as them and like forming actual communities online, which is really interesting. And it also obviously allows them to connect with people physically around them that share their passion for the same product. So there's that. So as far as recommendations go, what changes do you recommend to more effectively direct consumers to your brand and sub-brand? Well, I think an appeal to potential purchasers' individuality would be really important. That we should show them through advertising that there are so many more options of how they can use the product. So, and also an appeal to a repeat or loyal purchaser's sense of belonging. Customers are no longer passive consumers and connect with each other. So the product is the experience, and this is the experience of Apple's iPhone 7. That's what I think needs to be out there. So. Okay, so step 5, purchase behaviour, post-purchase behaviour. Why might the consumer feel dissatisfied with this purchase? Well, first of all, it costs them a lot of money. iPhone 7 price starts at $1,079, not including the price of a phone plan or credit required to run it on a mobile network, so obviously that's quite a lot of money. It's too similar to the previous product, so it's very possible with iPhones coming out pretty much every year that maybe a customer might feel that the product isn't that different from the one they had before. So this could cause them to question whether or not they actually need it. If the product is inconvenient to them, for example, if the phone is faulty, the operating system takes too long for them to learn, an app they use on an old iPhone doesn't work on the new one, any of those things could potentially be too much of a hassle for a consumer. They may choose next time to look somewhere else. So that's that. So recommendations. What changes do you recommend for your sub-brand to ensure that consumers continue to buy? Well, first of all, upgrade the features. For example, the battery, the camera, the casing, enough that it's noticeably more improved than the previous models. And then showcase other new features, for example, operating system features to consumers so that they know about them and are able to make them work effectively for them. Make the operating system similar enough to the old one that it is easy for consumers to learn and so that they can use it for the same functions they did before with the previous models. Don't make it too difficult for them to continue to use the products when the new ones come out. Have a watertight return policy for faulty iPhones, example, loan phones, fast repair times, and insurance. And make the phone an affordable deal that you can optionally pay off, for example, phone plans, which change all the time, but stay relatively consistent. That's about it. And that's just our reference list there. So, yeah, thanks.
To summarise the consumer decision-making process, we have the 5 steps: need recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision, and post-purchase behaviour. It is important to understand the process consumers go through in the purchasing of a product, especially a high-risk product such as the iPhone 7, where there will be a likely thorough decision made. Thank you guys.